Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Beloved and I'm back with a new recipe for the channel. Beloved Catering Service is a business where we make all kinds of cakes, butter cookies, shortbread cookies, coconut biscuits, sugar cookies, brownies, ring donuts, meat pies, samosas, spring rolls, and all kinds of fruit drinks and fruit juices, especially sobolo. We also make all local rice dishes and Ghanaian authentic dishes. We cater for all events and occasions and any form of gatherings. You can contact us with the information provided on your screen. In today's video, we are baking and decorating a birthday cake for my church's March-born's birthday celebration. Ingredients for today's birthday cake include my chocolate cupcake batter and my easy vanilla cupcake batter, which will be used in making the 2 cake layers, my perfect American buttercream frosting, blue gel food color, white and blue fondant, white pearl sprinkles, golden sprinkles, a birthday cake topper, fondant alphabet cutter, 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, a 1/4 tablespoon of cornstarch, a cake comb, offset spatulas, piping bags, and a cake box. Before that, I would be very happy if you could subscribe to my channel right now and then turn on your post and notification icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video onto the channel. And please share my videos with your friends and family. Please subscribe. Let's get started. These are the cupcake batters that will be used in making the full-size cake. So we'll be baking this at 160 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes at most. After it is baked, remove it from the oven and let it sit in the baking tin for about 15 minutes. After that, flip it onto a plate and then remove the parchment paper from the bottom parts of both cakes. Then cover it with some cling film. Ensure that all the sides and top of the cake are evenly and well covered. Do this for both cakes and then place it into the fridge for 30 minutes to 1 hour. After that, pick up your turntable, clean it with some tissue and then place onto it a piece of solution tape. Now place onto the solution tape the cake board. After that, trim off the layer of the vanilla cake and then smear some frosting onto the cake board. Now place onto it the vanilla cake layer, add some frosting to it and then spread it with the offset spatula. After that, trim off the layer of the chocolate cake and then place it on top of the vanilla frosted cake. With the aid of a serrated knife, trim off excess layers of the vanilla cake as seen in the video being displayed. This is done to ensure that the top and down of the cake have an equal size so that the top doesn't look heavier than the bottom part. After that, clean off all the cake particles from the cake board and then let's move on to the frosting of the cake itself. And by this I mean the crumb coating of the cake. This is the first frosting done on the cake to trap any cake that might be on the cake being decorated. This is basically trapping any crumbs of the cake and placing everything in order for the frosting to look very smooth and nice. Scoop some of the frosting onto the cake layer and then with the aid of a spatula, spread it on the top and sides of the cake to form kind of a crumb coat around the cake. Ensure that every part of the cake is well covered. This will prevent any of the cake particles from falling onto the cake board and being mixed up with the frosting later on. After crumb coating the cake, you can decide to leave it in your freezer for about 30 minutes, but I left it on the countertop just as I'm using right now, and then went straight on to mixing the next frosting that we'll be using. Today we'll be using a blue and white combination. So to do that, I added some gel food color into a bowl containing some of the frosting, mixed it up and then obtained this first blue color. To slightly darken the color, I added in a little bit of the gel food color and then mixed it to obtain this beautiful blue color. Now I picked some of the frosting into a piping bag, which is the uncolored frosting, and then piped around the cake to be used for the second covering of the cake. With the aid of an offset spatula, I then smoothed out the piped frosting to give it a nice finishing touch. After that, I scooped some of the frosting into the bag again, placed it aside, and then scooped the blue frosting into another piping bag. Pipe the border around the bottom part, moving upwards the cake, and then continued with the white frosting as well. In both borders to look like this, I then picked up the cake comb we'll be using today. This is my first attempt at using a cake comb for cake decoration, so let's see how it goes. To begin, I placed it at a 90-degree angle and then started frosting or decoratively smoothing out the cake to give it this nice design being made. After the first round movement, this is how it looks like, so we continue till we get a uniform and much nicer look on the cake. As this is being done, don't forget to fill in any gaps that might be left out or any air pockets that might be found. And this is how it looks like. In this part, you would have to smoothen up the top part of the cake to give it a nice and uniform look. Here, I placed a piping tip, which is the 2D piping tip, into another piping bag and then inserted the blue frosting in the piping bag in it. After that, I began to pipe a border on the top part of the cake. Here, I pipe a border and then I make a rosette in between. A border, a rosette, a border, a rosette until the top part of the cake was fully covered. So if you don't get what I'm saying, just look at what is being done in the video and you understand what I mean. And this is how it looks like when everything is piped on it beautifully. Here I'm going to combine two sprinkles, which is the golden sprinkles and the pearl sprinkles together to be used in decorating the top and sides of the cake, as being seen in the video. And this is the finished product. Just look at how beautiful it is. Guys, rate my design in the comment section. Today was the first time we used the cake foam, and this is how it looked like. So here I'll be adding onto it a few more sprinkles of my choice to make the look complete. And this is the finished look. It's time for us to insert the cake topper onto the top part of the cake. So here I remove it from the packaging rubber and then place it right into the middle part, moving to the end of one side of the cake, which I selected as my front part. We will also be using fondant in the cake, as I stated earlier. So here is our icing sugar or our powdered sugar, and then our fondant, which is the blue and white fondant, as well as a bowl of cornstarch, which will be dusting the alphabet cutters in to prevent the fondant from sticking into it when it's used to cut the fondant. Today we'll be cutting out hashtag match bonds, so that is what we'll be doing here. After folding the frosting, which is the fondant, into the preferred color, that is combining the white and the blue, I dusted the fondant mat with some icing sugar and then placed onto it the fondant, rolled it out with the fondant ruler, and then used the alphabet cutter to cut out the hashtag match bonds. After cutting it out and removing it from the alphabet cutters, I then arranged it onto a plate and then dusted it with some gold dust with the aid of a brush until they were well painted with the gold dust. And this is how it looks like after it was dusted with the gold dust. Now I arrange it onto the cake one by one with the aid of my hands, accordingly as I want it to look like. And guys, this is the final look of the cake. What do you think? How does it look like? Let me know in the comment section. This is our March Celebrants cake. In this part, I'm going to cover the cake with the cake box. So I remove the rubber lining of the cake box, which is on the top and inner parts. This is done to give it the transparent look in the box. Here I place it onto the cake gently to prevent any of the frosting from touching it. And then I place onto it the cover. And this is how the cake looks like in the box. So here I'm going to pull out the ribbon, which will be used in tying the cake box, just as seen in the video being displayed. And then with the aid of my mom carrying the cake up for me, I then tie the cake box with the ribbon. And this is the final look for delivery. And this is where today's video ends. Thank you so much for watching. Make it a point to watch our new videos this and every Thursday and Sunday for wholesome content and amazing recipes you can try with your friends and family. This new year, I'll be very glad if you could try any of our recipes and then give feedback on it in the comment section. Also, please subscribe to my channel, turn on your post and notification icon, and then share my videos with your friends and family. Let's all join hands and make this channel grow. Till we meet again, dear viewers. Bye bye.